Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if this is your second time, thank you for sticking around and for watching my first video. And thank you to all the people who watched my first video and for all the really sweet messages and comments that I received about it and encouraging me to keep going. So thank you, I really appreciate it. It's really nice to have you back. This here is Zekaroni. He is a rescue dog from Brazil. We've had him for nearly 7 years now, and he is the sweetest. He loves cuddles, although it did take him a little while to let us pet him. He was very frightened in the beginning, but now he absolutely loves the cuddles. This week I'm going to be sharing with you guys my lentil dal recipe. It's a pretty quick recipe. It makes tons. It's great for leftovers and it's perfect for these cold winter days. This winter, there are a few things I've been trying to do more of that's really helping me deal with the season. The winter is always a time that I struggle a bit. I love the sun, and the fact that it's dark and cloudy most days is really hard. So whenever the sun is out there, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or suggestions for things that you'd like to see, let me know, comment down below. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I hope to see you next time. The last couple of days have been beautiful and sunny. And although it's been freezing, it's been really nice to get outside and enjoy the sun. One of the things that we're really making sure we do this winter is just to get outside every day when possible. Not to go to work or run errands, but to just go outside and enjoy the beautiful view. We live so close to the lake, so we're making sure that we're walking along the lake. And this week we've had all this beautiful ice on all of the branches, and it was just really nice getting out there and walking. And we make sure we bundle up, lots of layers. We try to get some coffee from a local coffee shop, and that just makes it cozier and keeps us warm while supporting local. And it's just a really nice thing that we've been doing, and it's making such a difference. Even on cloudy days, we're still trying to get out there, and I can't recommend it enough. I know it's such a cliche. Everybody says get outside in the winter, but it's really true. It does make a world of a difference, and especially for me, for someone who really struggles with the winter, getting outside, getting some fresh air, it's really helping me stay positive and really just learning to enjoy the season as much as possible. As long as you're dressed really warm, it's not that bad. And especially when the sun's out, it's just amazing. So let's jump into the recipe. This week I'm sharing with you guys how I make my red lentil dal curry. It's pretty easy and quick to make. I always have the ingredients on hand. Most things are canned, so it's usually something I have when I've run out of all my other groceries. So I start with my aromatics, onions, garlic, and ginger. And then for a little bit of spice, I like to add a bird's eye chili. This is a Thai chili. I take out the seeds, so it's not that spicy. If you like it spicier, leave the seeds in. And what I do, I buy a little pack and I keep it in the freezer in a Ziploc bag for when I need it. And for my spices, I'm using some cumin, some coriander, some garam masala, some turmeric, and some paprika. Those spices really adds a lot of warmth and flavor. If you don't like your food too spiced, feel free to reduce the amount of spices by half. I like it really flavorful, so does my husband, so we like to have a lot of spice in there. So I just like to toast it up with my aromatics for a little bit just to release those flavors. Then I add my lentils, which are the red ones for this curry, some pureed tomato. I like to just get plain pureed tomato because I can spice it the way I want for my different recipes. For this recipe, I'm using half broth and half water. Feel free to sub the water for coconut milk if you want to make it creamier. I've done it that way as well, and it's also delicious. And then I'm going to season with some salt and pepper. I add about I add about a teaspoon and a half of salt and some pepper, freshly ground pepper as always. And then in the end, I always taste it to see if it needs a little bit more salt. The broth is seasoned, and since I'm doing half water, that controls a bit of the seasoning. So you might need to add a little bit more, but you're also welcome to just go with the broth, and then you need to add a little bit less salt. I love using cauliflower to bulk up this recipe and to get more veggies in there. It's a very mild flavor, so it just really soaks up all of that curry flavor. What I found that works best is to actually steam the cauliflower for about 5 minutes while the curry is cooking before tossing it in. As for the rice, I absolutely love using my Instant Pot to cook the rice. It takes such little time, but my favorite part is just you put it in there, you set it, and you walk away. So I do 1 cup of rice. Here I used a cup of washed basmati rice, cup of water, and a teaspoon of salt. And I put it on high for 4 minutes and then leave it on the natural release for 10 minutes. So make sure you stir your curry here and there because it does start to get stuck to the pot, and you want to make sure it's not sticking too much and starting to burn. So when there's about 10 minutes left, I add in my cauliflower so the rice can finish cooking, the cauliflower can finish cooking, and everything will finish around the same time. I highly recommend making this topping. It's the yogurt topping called raita. I honestly only learned how to make this perfect with an Indian friend who I met a few years ago and is an absolute gem in the kitchen. And she taught me that it's the mango powder that you add to raita. And that's what really gives it that restaurant flavor. I had been making raita for years and it just never tasted proper like a restaurant raita. So now I know, and I'm finally going through my mango powder that I had purchased for one recipe. Now I use it every single week, and it's so good. The raita really adds this restaurant flavor to the dish at the end, and it's so refreshing. I mix it with some red onion, cucumber, and cilantro, and then season it with some salt and pepper. I love how fluffy the rice gets every time with the Instant Pot. So I just make a cup a day whenever we need it instead of making a lot and having to warm up just because it's so quick to make. When everything's ready and I'm able to serve the dish, I do like to finish off the curry with lots of cilantro and a generous squeeze of lemon juice. I usually use half to a whole lemon. It also helps your body absorb the iron better from the lentils since it's a non-heme iron, and it just adds this nice freshness, brings all the flavors together. So I top it up over my rice and finish off with that delicious yogurt raita. The house smells so good when I make this. I love how cozy and comforting it is, and just that perfect amount of spice. It smells so good. I hope you guys give this one a try. So I just got here some of that lentil dal I made yesterday. I'm just gonna heat some up for lunch. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to thin it out because it does get a little bit dry and hard the next day. So it's good to add a little bit of water. I like this recipe because it makes so much and it's great to have the leftovers, and it even freezes pretty well. So highly recommend making the full recipe so that you can have leftovers for the week or freeze it for a day when you don't want to cook in the future. It smells so good. I had some leftover pita bread that I just heated up in the toaster, and then I topped it up with the yogurt raita I made yesterday with the cucumber, red onions, and the mango powder. And it really adds such a tang to it that makes it perfect. So don't skip out on that part. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.